Hello, this is Michael Kelly, and I wanted to introduce you to a new pack of divination cards and a new book by Sonia Smith. And it's a version of the Lenormand cards, which have been popular for very many years and which have a reputation for giving very clear and precise readings with a lot of depth and subtlety and nuance to them. And this new deck, its design is quite exquisite, and it's one that I adore. It is the Raven Lenormand. This is the guidebook. It's over 100 pages long, well over 100 pages long in fact. It's 120 pages long, and it's available from Lulu. And this will describe all of the cards. It's beautifully done, by the way. It's a nice glossy hardback. It's printed on their premium coated paper. The quality of the print is superb. It contains various different layouts and spreads for reading the cards, and of course there is an in-depth full colour illustrations. There's an in-depth description of every card, of how it's interpreted not only in general but in relation to different kinds of questions, and how it relates with other cards. So it's a really comprehensive manual and worth having if you read Lenormand, even if you don't use this deck. It's that comprehensive. And of course it contains all of the artwork. The artwork is exquisite. It is themed around ravens and the associated mythology of those spirits and powers who are represented by corvids, beings such as the Morrigan or Morgan Le Fay. And of course they'd also be suitable for any Poe enthusiasts. And since I fill all of those categories, you can see why I'm excited by this release. These are the cards. These are available from Printer Studio. I will put links to both guidebook and cards in the comments. Be aware these are small press. They're a specialist item, but they're beautifully produced, so you're paying for quality. The book's available on Lulu, and you've seen the quality of that. The cards are available from Printer Studio and are very reasonably priced. Here they are. Look at the backs of them. Even the backs of them, aren't they just gorgeous? And they have this wonderful gilt frame at the front with the images relating to the cards, many of which reflect that raven theme. Those corvids get into almost all of the images, either foreground or background, somewhere or the other. The whole deck has a kind of fey quality to it, which is quite deliberate. I will say it's quite deliberate indeed, and we see this as we get towards the close of the back, where you have the Lord and the Lady, and these are obviously representations of fairy kings and queens. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. So I thought one of the best ways to introduce it would be to do a little sample reading for you. And we'll refer to the book as we go, so you can see how that works. Normally I just read these things, obviously, but I will refer to the book so we can see where the information comes from, so you'll know what you're getting with the whole package. I'm just going to tilt my screen down now, and as you can see, I always read between fire and water in a liminal space. we'll begin by mixing the cards. And then I'm going to select 4 because I'm going to do the cross reading, which is listed in the book. And this is one of those readings that requires a question. And the question is going to be about use of funds. I have several things coming up that I need to spend money on, and funds are tight, as they are for many people at the moment, so I'm going to be asking whether a certain thing would be best done at a certain time or left till later. So I think I can manage to do it at the time I want, so let's see what the cards have to say about that. So I'm just going to sift through them face down and let my fingers randomly select 4. The first one laid down represents the question, and the second one represents the wrong way to do things. The third is the right way to do things, and the fourth is the destination. This is the cross spread from the Lenormand book. So looking at it first, the right way, the question itself is represented by birds. So let's look up birds in the book. Here they are. And there's a nice description there. And we immediately see it's all to do with communication, with contact, with telephone, emails, gossip and talk. So it's a matter of communication. And in matters of finance, it tells us that the birds are about drumming up custom, interviews, salesmanship, and taking the money. So and this is quite suitable for the question, because I am basically having an internal dialogue where I'm discussing the available funds and whether I can do a certain thing at a certain time or not without derailing everything else. But let's see what advice we get. This card represents the wrong way to go about things. It's the broom. We have that witchy figure there holding up her broom and cleaning the room. And this, of course, does tend to deal with a kind of bringing things to light, clearing things up. The broom cleans a room. It stirs things about. If everything's dusty, it puts the dust in the air. It brings things into the clear light of day. So what would broom represent as a wrong way of doing things here? Basically, it's telling me that the wrong thing to do would be to stir things up, by disturbing my original plan and sequence of priorities financially. Maybe it's telling me that the wrong thing to do would be to listen to these urgings and slip in something a little extra. What would be the right thing to do? That's this card up here. The right thing to do would be the lily. This rather gorgeous card there. So if the broom is the wrong thing to do, the lily would be the right thing to do. And here we are. The lily represents maturity, it says. Shows dedicated passion, harmony, peace, love of beauty and stillness, a kind of mature wisdom. So it's maybe telling me to stick to the harmony of the order of the plan I already had in place. So I'm already seeing here, I'm trying to talk myself into spending money on something extra. I'm being told it's a bad idea to abandon the plan of priorities I had, and I'm being told it's a good idea to follow that path of mature wisdom, the path that I had laid out. Let's see what the destination brings. The scythe. Another very striking image. Well, I don't think the scythe bears well for my particular suggestion. It brings danger of some kind, it says, but it also allows us to make swift decisions that avoid trouble. It asks for radical action. It can also hint by the surrounding cards about resources and how best to use them. And isn't that what this whole question is about? And isn't that the advice that we have been given here? It can represent where and when to harvest something. So, that's the decision, that's where we're heading. And it absolutely reaffirms what I've been told here. Don't jump your horses, Kelly. Stick to your plan and you'll get to where you're going. So we've got a very clear reading there already, and this is something that Lenormand excels in. Let me have a look though, because we have all of these other wonderful cross-references with other cards. And I'm going to look up a few of these for the cards we've drawn. But first of all, the scythe with finance, negotiations about severance and so on. It's telling me to nip this idea in the bud, basically. And that's good and sound advice. Now if we have a look here to see how it relates to any other cards. When related with the birds, the scythe can denote unkind gossip, cutting remarks, savage criticism. These are not good little whispers in my ear, it's telling me. Let's see what the others have to reveal. Well, when broom is in conjunction with the scythe, and remember this is what not to do, this would lead to severe expulsion and cleansing of the house. It's telling me this would be a ludicrous plan at the moment. Do not do it. Fair enough. You cannot get clearer than some of these things, it has to be said. And let's just take another look at Lily, see if there's anything there that we can cross-reference. Well, Lily does say wise moves with money, savings mature, a mature outlook brings financial gain. So at every turn we are being told, I'm being told to drop my damn fool idea and stick to my original plan, which was well thought out, well considered, all of the timings were right. It's just I have this impetuous streak, and sometimes I need to be slapped on the wrists as I have been now. But it's sound advice. It's absolutely perfect advice. It's absolutely banging the question on the nail, and I will absolutely take it. One thing I have learned over the years, as you get better at divination and you learn to trust it, you take its advice, whether it's what you want to hear or not. And impetuous though I am, I believe I am also a little wise, and this reading has given me a perfect answer to my question. And as you can see, it's a beautiful way of reading. This is just one of a few spreads in the book. It's a really useful one when you are trying to make your mind up one way or another on something. And there are others for more general readings. There are others which will give you a narrative flow to a question, and of course so much cross-referencing and information packed in there on the Lenormand cards themselves. This is a beautiful deck to own, and it's beautiful even if you've never had Lenormand before. It's just an absolutely beautiful deck of cards. The book is worth its weight in gold. Even if you already have your favoured Lenormand deck, this book will add so much to the interpretations, the interplay of the cards, the ways in which they relate to each other, and how clearly they speak to you. This is a beautiful package. I say a package, it is sold separately. The book is from Lulu, the cards are from Printer Studio. Treat yourself and get them both. You will not regret it. If you have any interest in divination whatsoever, every reading you do with this will repay your investment tenfold. Good advice is beyond price. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been informative. Look to the comments for the links, and you know what to do then, don't you? Take care.